Ambassadors, Mr. Su, Mr. Nava, my colleagues, everyone, staff, members. It's a mixed feeling today, and it's I feel satisfied also today, and since I'm living there's Senegal, then some sort of sorrow is there that I'm leaving a country where I spent more than 3 years here and I had a wonderful time. Uh, Wonderful in many ways that I'll come to, but at, since I'm completing my 60 years of age and superannuating, 38 years of service, out of which 31 years in Ministry of External Affairs, and on top of that 7 foreign assignments. So after that I will be returning to India on superannuation. Before I say few words about you, I take this opportunity to put on record that the few officers that in the Ministry of External with whom I worked, and that made a lot of difference in my progress, in my satisfaction. I would say that I have been working in the Ministry of External Affairs. I'll not go into the detail of my postings, but I'll just mention a couple of officers, that made a lot of difference in my progression. Uh, Starting from when I joined the Ministry of External Affairs, I worked with a desk which is that dealt with the neighboring country, very important one, and the officer was who retired as Secretary East, Mrs. Vijay Thakur. One thing I would like to, in spite of very difficult, working hours, I remember every day we used to go to office 9 o'clock and finishing at 7, 8, and even maybe 9 o'clock. And over the weekend also, you are working. Hardly you get even a Sunday off, by the way. But I remember specific case when my wife was on her family way, we were expecting our daughter. She said to me that she was also working nearby office, and she said to me, and don't forget that Rakesh, you can leave office at 5:30 without asking, because you have to take your wife back. I was using a scooter, Bajaj scooter by the way, at that time, picking my wife on the way and then going home. So at that time, for 4 or 5 months, I remember that I was not asking my immediate boss to get the permission and go home. So I remember that specific. And later on, when I was at headquarters recently, and she came to know that I'm still in at the headquarters. I was called to her office, and she invited me, and she inquired for the family, and one thing she told me that, Rakesh, you still have the good speed on the computer. So when I was joined, I was having really very fast speed. Over the years, I'm still not bad, by the way, but at that time I was very quick on that. So I fondly remembered how we worked together. Uh, that After that, the other officer I would like to mention is Mr. K.V. Bhagirat. He was our High Commissioner in Tanzania. So when I joined Tanzania, after few months working with him, he somehow saw some potential in me and asked me to open a business center in the embassy. That was something very new to me also, and in our missions also. So we opened the first business center in Tanzania within the embassy, and I was made in charge of that. And he gave me free hand, but of course under his supervision, I was doing everything. And I'm very proud to say that within 1.5 year, working with the High Commissioner, India was at 7th position, the trading partner with Tanzania India became the number one trading partner within 1.5 years. I did give credit to my high commissioner, but I was working with him. We were working together, and we did a lot of things. So, I thanks to Mr. KV Bhaginath, wherever he is. And after that, Tanzania, I went to Melbourne, and it was a altogether different experience working in Melbourne, Australia. And this is something unusual to have that particular post at the consulate. That is called Sir Student and Community Welfare Officer. And that to a person who knows Punjabi, by the way, that I speak the language. The officer, I'm still in touch with her. Her name is Anita Nayak. She retired our ambassador, last year from Chile, and at that time she was our consul general. I give full credit to her that she has given me, complete freedom in my working, although guiding me. When I went to Australia, there was a major crisis of the student. A lot of attacks were happening on the students, Indian students, and some issues were there. So she told me that we want to end this problem, and what new you can do to that. So but I did it under her guidance, few things, and that major issue which was featured on the television and in discussion, in high level discussion with India and Australia at that time. Within no time, that problem was not being reported on the television, stopped. So I give my credit, of course, we worked that the team was working, but I give credit to Miss Anita Nair, who was very supportive of me, to me and my family too. So that's the second officer. Third, I would like to mention, and I have only two officers with whom I worked twice in my life. One is, of course, sir, and the other officer is Mr. Navdeep Suri. I worked with him in London, and also when I was in Melbourne, I asked him that I am being considered for the next assignment, next posting abroad. So I inquired about. He was ambassador in Cairo, Egypt. I just wrote to him, sir, that I'm being considered for the next. So after 3 days, I got a reply back before my board head. He told me, Rakesh, you have been transferred to Cairo, without the board being met at that time. So I worked with him, and again, fortunately, within 2 or 3 months working with him in his office, uh, uh, as immediately he gave me a designation of special assistant to ambassador on joining. But after 2 months, he said that your potential is not being fully utilized. So fortunately, we got a position of a director of the cultural center. So I was given the charge of the cultural center, and again with Mr. Navdeep Suri, and followed by Mr. Sanjay Bhattacharya, who is our ambassador in Switzerland now. I was for 3 years, worked as a director of the cultural center, and we did one of the biggest cultural festival, three cultural festivals. That is India by the Nile, with these with a major footfall, and in each cultural event there were not less than 25 events in a span of 10 to 20 days. So many events with the support of some private organization and sponsors. So that was a absolutely magnificent opportunity to know the cultural diplomacy and how to work with the different organizations. And now, I would like to, coming back here, it was as in Senegal when I was posted here. So this is by, I gave many options, but I was given to come to Dakar, and I feel very fortunate. Fortunate in the sense that say, with the permission of His Excellency Ambassador, my wife was working here, who is a professional teacher, and she worked in the International School of Dakar. And secondly, if you see the last 3 years, see, Europe was badly affected by COVID, and Senegal was not. And I feel today, when I look back, had I been posted to an European country, what would have been the scenario? But today I feel, if I look back, I see, we were fortunate that the situation was well, controlled, or we were not that much affected. Whatever the measures were taken by the government here. So I feel that we were fortunate. And secondly, here the you have a good weather, by the way. I love the weather of Senegal. And thirdly, I see the from the local you learn that there's no pressure. How to work. Don't take pressure on you. I'm not a person like that, but I try to learn. I still learning that. How to reduce it, take it lightly. So that's a few things that I've learned here. I enjoyed working with each one of you, whether Mr. Khan, Yande, Khadi, Omar, Osman, Anna, Binda, everyone. I enjoyed working with you. Thank you so much. Let me say, Mr. Nawapal, it's not the first time that we worked together. We were there in the ministry together for some time in the same division. In external publicity, we worked together. So, and again, I see, when I was saying it was very difficult for, when 2 legs of the mission leaves. I'm sure, Mr. Nawapal is very capable. I love his handwriting, by the way. A person, and also his work, the finished work that he did. I've seen his, dispatches, and the manner in which he go in depth. I'm sure that no challenge is difficult for you or for the mission when Mr. Nawapal is here. So there's no doubt that once I leave, whatever, but we have a solid pillar of Mr. Nawapal. Mr. Sood, what I should say about Mr. Sood. He's just like my brother, and always a person who makes the moment lighter. Whenever he's around with anyone, you feel that some the good vibes comes, and you feel very comfortable. However, difficult the situation or condition may be. So, and he was talking about the second love. So, first love is, of course, my wife is not here with us. We have so many years. If I'm able to succeed, I'm able to work in the office. Equal credit goes to my wife, who has been fully supporting me, supporting the family, supporting the children, elders, youngers, and keeping the family united. So, of course, and then supporting, wife has also had a big role in, in our Ministry of External Affairs life, especially when you are abroad. Uh, Now, it's very difficult to say something about sir, about you. I'm very fortunate that I worked with you at the headquarters for about 6 months, and I got the opportunity to work with you again. It's my good fortune, you know. But I should say three things I admire about you particularly. Others have different views about Mr. Sir. But three things you know the first one is our ambassador is a great mentor. He, whenever there is any situation, any problem, if you are bona fide in your approach, if you are doing your work sincerely, he, I feel no doubt that even if I've gone wrong, he will hold your hand. And this is not one time, I'm telling you. He helped not only me, but I'm sure he has helped others also. So and guided us. So that guidance that you have provided will be remembered, and I will continue to cherish. Second, sir, you are a great teacher. Absolutely great. I've seen working with many officers, many ambassadors, but I always feel that had I been, working with you, 10 years before or 7, 8 years before, I would have given more to the Ministry of External Affairs. We always, you give a challenge, and sometimes, as Mr. Nawab was using the terminology in cricket. In cricket, there is when there is a bowling, there is spin bowling that's called googling. And we say that, we say that, time to time we get a googly ball from our ambassador. But he has also taught us how to face that googly ball, how to hit around, 4 or 6 around that. He has given so many, opportunities and how to face the challenges. At times I remember that, there are, for example, we have been, we haven't done any PowerPoint presentation on webinar before coming here, never. But everyone has learned in this mission how to make a PowerPoint presentation and how to do it on the webinar and then speak about it. And not only that, for us it was one step further. Sometimes we were given told that this is a topic, but we say just 2 hours before the webinar the topic has been changed. But we know that we are able to deliver it. We will have to deliver it. So that is the the confidence the ambassador sir has shown us and taught us, and we should take that opportunity whenever this opportunity comes. Since you are working, take that opportunity, take that challenge that you have learned. So thank you so much, sir, for that. And thirdly, I would say that one thing I have learned, how to manage so many things together. You are working, you are an ambassador, but I'm sure if tomorrow you are, sir, in a very big company, you can be a very successful CEO. Yeah. I said it before somewhere also to someone I don't know, but he can manage, hundreds of things together. And how he manages, sometimes we ourselves think, how he's managing, but we have learned at least some skills to manage so many things together. So thank you so much, sir. And I'm sure that the relation between India and Senegal, they are growing. They are growing. I'm sure that in the future I see very bright future of India and the Senegal relation. And wish you all the very best. Thank you so much. Thank you.